What's up, people? Welcome back to Game Talk. My name is Jay and I'm a consultant in the music business. Today we'll be discussing all things distribution. What a distributor does, how they work, their importance, all the great things that they do for independent artists and how important they are. Let's get into it. So, distributor. Who is a distributor? A distributor may be the most important component in an independent artist's career, setup, business model, whatever. So, how does it work? You have one entity, which will be the independent artist or an independent label. You need to get your music out there. So back in the days before streaming and stuff, a distributor would actually be physically get your CDs, tapes, and records, and then take them to big shops like HMV and all these other places. Now, because it's all digital, the distributor has changed the way they do things, and they have a good relationship with all the streaming sites, Apple Music, Spotify, you name it, everyone, Deezer, all of that. So once you register with one of them, what they do for you is they get you into all these places without you having to go through all the hassle. So you basically upload your music. Once you upload your music or content to the system, you choose where you want it to go, you press it, you upload all the information of the artist who wrote it, who produced it, all these other things, go through all the hoops, and then you go straight up, and then you go straight to the end, and then you press the go button, and immediately it gets uploaded to the system. It does go through a whole checking and screening process, but that's a few days or so. So once everything's copacetic and everybody's happy, you set a date, and then on that date, your music goes live and it's everywhere around the world. Now you might say to yourself, well, it seems very simple and easy, but imagine having to go to every single streaming site by yourself and say, hey, load this up for me, load this up for me. It's a repetitive process, you don't have the relationships, and most of them probably won't even work with you. So you're better off just going through a distributor. It makes everything easy. Now there's two types of distributors. We have distributors like Believe, who have a vast quantity of artists on their roster, artists and independent record labels on their roster. And then you have sites like TuneCore. Now with TuneCore, you go on there, you speak to nobody, you go on there, you load up your music and make it live, and that's it. There's no human interaction. But with Believe, for instance, you go there, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with an actual human being. If there's any issues, spelling mistakes, it's a phone call away. It's a text message away. So you send it to them, they get it done. Yeah, they might charge a bit more on the back end of things, which I will get into in a minute. They might charge you a bit more in the back end of things, but they always deliver. So how does it work? A distributor will not charge you any money. It won't charge you anything. If you come with some sort of pedigree or sales history where you've been selling records already, a distributor may say, oh, you know what, we know what you're worth. If you need some money, we can give you some up front, and then we'll just take it off of your next release. And then once your next release has garnered enough money, or once it's gone through the process and sold, streamed a lot, then they'll just recoup that money that they've advanced you from your sales. Yeah. So there's no money involved up front. Absolutely no money involved up front. It's all. You sign a contract. You agree on a percentage that they take and you take. You always get the higher share. I mean, remember what I said in previous videos. When you're signed to a major label, the major label gives you 18% and they take 88%. With a distributor, I think the most I've heard a distributor take is 20% or so. So you're the one who's getting the lion's share of things. So yeah. So that's one good reason for being with a distributor, which is there's a human interaction. You can always call someone, and if you need a release to come out sooner, or you need to correct a mistake, or you need to chase some funds, there's always someone you can speak to. But with all these other ones online, they're convenient, they're easy, they make it more accessible for everyone to just get up and upload something, yes. But if you want something done right, and you want the full nine, a big distributor is the way forward. But getting on there won't be easy. Another good thing about distributors is they can get you on the playlist. Now remember, I once said before, playlists are gold. Are the modern day gold, gold dust, and if you want your songs to stream and get noticed more, you want to get on a playlist. And the easiest and best way of doing that is going through a distributor. And distributors have connections with so many playlist owners. So say you have a song that's doing well. Now don't think automatically as soon as you sign to a distributor they'll get you on a playlist. It doesn't work that way. It's not as easy. It's like thinking if you sign to a record label you're automatically going to get on the radio playlist. It doesn't work that way. Yes, it gives you a dog in the fight, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee you will win. You know. So yeah. So they can get you on the playlist. They have good relationships. They can monitor without even asking you. That they'll just get it on there and update you on what happens. I mean, I've got as a distributor, I have a few songs that keep getting added to playlists quite often. And every time it does happen, I get an email coming through, and it says this song has been added to this song has been added to that playlist. So yeah, that's the good thing about it. Another great thing distributors can offer you is label services. Now label services is key. So what is label services? So say for instance, you're an artist and you feature on somebody else's tracks or albums or whatever. Whenever that song is played, it generates income. So that income that comes in has to be split. So say it's £1 to be split between the producer and the two artists. Whatever percentage you guys agree on has to be split that way. So label services is one thing that the distributors offer. So the distributor will sort out all those percentages and cut up all the money, show what's allocated to whom. So it's all in black and white, very clear, so everybody can just see exactly what it is. This amount came in, this amount is yours, and this amount is his, this amount is hers. So there's no cheating going on, and that takes such a load off of managers and artists' heads. It's one of the best things a distributor can give you. It's amazing. So yeah, so label services, very, very important. I mean, legally as a requirement, you need to pay people what they're owed as well. So you should always, if you don't know how to do it yourself, leave it for the professionals to do it. It's much more clearer. There'll be history and backlogs just in case somebody comes with a claim one day, you know you're covered. Label services can't go wrong. Yeah, so the role of a distributor is just more than just, oh, I'll take your music and make it available. They link other artists together and say, hey, we've got a client that you might be able, if you're a producer, we've got a client that you might be able to work with. Why don't we do this or do that? Or say you're looking for someone, you find out that they're on the same roster. It's pretty easy, especially if you're doing numbers. It's in the distributor's interest to expose your music as much as possible, whether it means introducing you to different people, whether it means advancing you some money that you need, everything. In a situation like that, they will act like a label for less money, so you can't go wrong. And they have just as much a reach as a main label will. So it's a great opportunity. So yeah, so distributors, always, when you're independent, always go with a distributor. That way you can set up the business properly, that end of the business properly, and there's no comebacks, there's no if, buts or maybes, and everybody's happy. You'll be structured, you can do good business, and you can learn from the way they do business and take that model and add it to your own. Also, I've known music distributors to step in and play the role of publisher, where they can get your music licensed in adverts, movies, TV shows, name it, everything. So like I said, look, they're not publishers, they're not managers or anything like that. But if it's in their interest, they will do it. Remember, you're independent, so why not? They don't see any reason to stop at what it is that they do, where it's just distribution. No, there's more to it, and they'll like to do more if it means more streams. More streams mean more income, so they will go out their way to get all these things done. Also, you know, the whole streaming situation now is very digital, and anything digital requires an algorithm to function. These distributors understand what goes on behind the scenes. Now, the algorithm, Google it. Google what the Spotify one is. They all vary, but they're all very similar also. So these algorithms need to be understood. That what sort of things can you do or place, or what sort of things can you do in order to make your song stand out and cut through the noise. They understand that world and they know exactly what to do. Whether it's a simple thing like changing the genre of music from Afrobeats to hip hop, or hip hop to pop music, or you know, stuff like that, just so it gives you a fighting chance. Or say something happens and maybe you do something where you give away to charity, for instance, and then your name starts to circulate. Once your name starts to circulate in the digital world, the algorithms can latch onto that hype, that wave, and then bring it in to the streaming, and then puts you forward. All these things are tactics that they know how to do. Yeah, you can sit down and try and crack the code and stuff, but it'll take you years. You don't have time for that. Focus more on your craft and allow the professionals to do what they do. So yeah. Anyway, people, I hope I've touched on enough for you. If you have any more questions that I left out, leave it in the comments and I'll reply to you. And thanks again for joining. And remember, people, don't ever forget to like, comment and subscribe. This has been Game Told, and I'm JR. Catch you on the next one.